Hi everyone, welcome back to Joanne Tech Lover. I'm Joanne and today I'll be covering this Gigabyte P35Wv2-CF2 laptop. And this will be perfect for my editing and gaming needs on the go, especially with CES 2015 coming up. Yay! I got this laptop off of XOTICPC and it's a great place to go ahead and get your desktop or laptop if you don't want to build it yourself, because they can go ahead and add custom parts to the available selection that you can choose from, which is quite a bit. But one problem I do have with them is that their customer service, it's not the best, and I'll talk more about it in the con section. Here is everything that comes in the box. We have the laptop itself, which I will go over in just a bit, but look how thin it is! Anyway, moving on to the accessories. Of course, you get a nice thick power brick as well as power cord to power this slim beast of a machine. And next up, we have this Windows 8.1 recovery backup disk, and this is something that I requested. It won't come with it automatically, but you do get Windows 8.1 64-bit pre-installed. And you also get some other software CDs for like your drivers and whatnot. And here is your warranty card. There's also this user manual. The post-its do not come with this manual. I simply just made a note as to what page shows you what parts are on the laptop, as well as what the function buttons do. I know most of them, but I do have to reference one or two just in case, because the symbols do change from product to product. Last but not least is this interesting contraption. You're like, what is it? Well, you already have an included optical drive in the laptop, but this is a hot swappable drive caddy because the bay is hot swappable, yay! And you can replace the optical drive if you don't think you'll be needing it. And I know a lot of you out there don't care for it, but this is an option to upgrade your storage. And I believe it's 9.5mm 2.5-inch drives compatible. Here's a closer look at the laptop. It's got this nice sleek black finish to it, but it is a bit fingerprint prone. But it does have a very minimalistic design, which I like, and I personally didn't request for extra skins and whatnot because it was just more expensive anyway. And now for the dimensions. So it measures 15.16 inches along this edge, or 385mm, and 10.63 inches, or 270mm on this edge. And it measures 0.83 inches, or 21mm thick, and it weighs in at 5.07 pounds, which is very heavy for me because I'm used to either Ultrabooks or my desktop PC, but it's actually pretty light for a heavy-duty gaming editing machine. Let's take a look at some of the ports that come on this laptop. So on this end, you have a Kensington lock slot. Next to that, a LAN port. And above that, two USB 2.0 ports, headphone mic jacks, and an SD card reader. This is really awesome, so I can just directly plug it into the laptop when I want to move my video files and audio files from filming. And on this side of the laptop, here's the power port, a D-sub connector, HDMI port, and two USB 3.0 ports. And this one, they have a little sticker here, they call this the USB charge. That means you can charge a device when this laptop is not on, which is a pretty cool feature. And then last but not least is a mini display port. How cool is that? It is capable of driving up to 4K resolution. Here's a look at the front edge of the laptop, and I'm going to start off in this section. This is a speaker, and you get two of them on the front edge, and these are 1.5 watt speakers, and sound is powered by Dolby Digital Plus Home Theater. Now next to that is the power check button. This is for your status indicators to show whether your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, I suppose, are on, your battery, as well as some of the other indicators like hard drive. And next to that is the optical drive. It is a 6x Blu-ray burner and 8x DVD-RW CDRW combo drive, which is pretty insane. And what's really cool is that this optical drive is facing towards the user, which is something I don't usually see. It's on the left or right side, but because it's here, it's actually better because then your mouse cables or keyboard cables that you might plug in there won't get in the way. Alrighty, and also here are the status indicators I was talking about earlier. You get a better look at it once I open up the laptop. And since this is a hot swappable bay, you can go ahead and remove your optical drive and go ahead and include this 2.5-inch drive caddy with, of course, a 2.5-inch drive, so you can go ahead and increase the storage capacity. There are dual vents on the rear of the PC, and you get dual heat pipes and dual fans to cool the CPU and GPU, and this little laptop is working overtime to keep everything cool in this slim build. Here's a look at the bottom of the laptop. Comes with an 11.1 volt lithium polymer battery, and you get rubberized feet on all four corners to keep this unit in place, especially when you're enraged during battle. And also here is the lock slider. This is for removing the optical drive if you wish to swap in another. And from the instructions, it says to just unlock it and then draw the drive out. Also, there are some screws on the back panel that you can remove, so you can take off the back panel if you wish to do any upgrading of drives or just get a look at what's inside. Haha, it might be cool. And right here is one subwoofer, which is your last speaker on the system. Now here's a look at the display. It comes with a 15.6-inch anti-glare matte display at 1920 by 1080 resolution. I absolutely love the matte look of it, especially when we're filming, because then we don't have to turn the laptop to get just the right shot. Here is a built-in 1.3 megapixel camera. You can use it for Skyping or streaming, and flanking it is the mic array. Before we take a look at the keyboard, here is a power button, which is nice and large, smack dab in the middle, because I've seen some laptops where I have to search for it. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Anyway, and this is a standard QWERTY layout with a full numpad, and they outline the WASD keys specifically, which is awesome for gamers out there. However, I do use a keypad to game, so it's rather irrelevant for me. And also, you get alternate commands via the function key, which is right here, and the commands are up top. Well, actually, there's a command here for the LED backlighting of this keyboard. You get white backlighting, 2 levels of brightness, but they're not individually backlit. The function key with escape would help you eject the optical drive, and then next to that is F1, which is the sleep, and F2 wireless. 3 and 4 is the screen brightness adjust up and down, and F5, that is to switch the display output between the display screen and the external monitor if you have one connected. I've tried it, it works. Okay. And then F6, the touchpad toggle to turn it on or off. Some people just want to use a mouse and they don't want that to get in the way. And F7 is the speaker on-off toggle, or just, you know, mute. And then the volume up and down here for the F8 and F9, and then F10 is the screen display toggle, so you can turn the screen display off. Let's say you're connected to an external monitor or like watching a movie or whatever, you don't want the laptop on, the screen on, which is cool. And then F11 is the Bluetooth. You can disable or enable it. F12 is the webcam. You can turn it on or off, which is nice because you don't want people spying on you 24/7, right? Ha, just kidding. And you must be wondering where the media functions are. Well, with function and the arrow keys, you'll be able to access your play, pause, stop, backward, and forward buttons. Beneath the keyboard is the trackpad if you don't want to use an external mouse, and it comes with standard 2-finger scroll and 3-finger swipe to go forward and backward in browser, and it's compatible with the Windows 8 swiping. And beneath that are the LED indicator icons, and beneath that are the actual LED indicators. Here's a look at the specs of the laptop. We're going to start off with the processor. So you get an Intel Haswell Core i7-4710HQ 2.5 GHz processor. You can ask them to actually overclock it for you on XOTICPC, which is something I like. And you get the Nvidia GTX 870M graphics card with 6 GB of GDDR5 memory with support for Nvidia FXAA and adaptive VSync. So if you don't know what adaptive VSync is, it helps reduce the stutter and tearing of the monitor by locking and unlocking the frame rate of the graphics card in relation to the refresh rate of the monitor. You also get 16 GB of DDR3 1600 MHz dual channel memory, so you get 2 8 GB SODIMMs and 2 250 GB Samsung 840 EVO series SSDs. These are mSATA SSDs. Actually, I upgraded from the original 2 128 GB mSATA SSDs. That definitely accounts for the price jump. Anyway, I had them set in RAID 0 configuration, which is striping, and it splits the data evenly across 2 or more disks for a speed boost. But the downside is that if one disk fails, you lose everything. But I think I'll take the chance. And you also get the 1 TB 7200 RPM hard drives, and this is where I'll be putting most of my games and software downloads. This laptop also comes with a Sound Blaster compatible 3D audio sound card, and it supports dual-band 802.11 AC, AB, GNN wireless, and Bluetooth 4.0. So I did a few tests to see how this laptop would perform against my current desktop system, and when rendering the same 17-minute video on both desktop and laptop under similar conditions, I used Adobe Premiere Pro CC 2014 and format H.264 and the preset YouTube 1080p to show how it would render. And my nearly 3-year-old desktop still rendered faster than my new laptop, but my laptop transferred files via USB 3 faster than my current desktop. But it's not by all that much. So for the laptop, the file transfer via the USB 3.0 external drive took 2 minutes and 46 seconds, and the render time took 13 minutes and 5 seconds of this. Actually, I took the rocket tie-on video. And the desktop, the file transfer via USB external drive took 3 minutes and 12 seconds. And the render time for the desktop was 10 minutes and 25 seconds. So you can see that it is about 2.5 minutes shorter than it took for the laptop to render the same video. And that just means that my desktop is still a beast, even though I built it almost 3 years ago, but at the time it was top of the line. As for the desktop specs, it has the Intel i7-3930K CPU at 3.2 GHz, Asus Sabertooth X79 motherboard, 12 gigs of DDR3 RAM, and the GTX 570. And a quick run through of the laptop specs in comparison of the desktop specs, you get the Intel i7-4710HQ at 2.5 GHz, 16 gigs of DDR3 RAM, and GTX 870M graphics card. In conclusion, I have to say that the laptop performs pretty closely to the desktop system, and for the portability aspect, I'll take it. Here's a demo of World of Warcraft on this laptop, and it probably looks a lot better in person than it does on the actual video. I'm using the G600 as well as the Orb Weaver to play a little, and my bottom bars here, they're not perfectly set. Oh, can you hear it already? It's like heating up. I'm just standing there. So definitely a laptop cooler will be needed, but this is just a quick demo. And the bars down here, they're not perfectly set as my desktop version of WoW because I haven't had a chance to go in there and tinker with the bartender, but I will eventually. But I'm just going to show you how the graphics look here. And actually, I want to show you my molten corgi. Now I can show you up close what it looks like. Oh, isn't it cute? Anyway, let's move along, and let's see. I could find something to battle. I'd rather battle a wolf though, so because those frogs, they come in packs of 3, and I'm not. Oh, there's one. What the heck is that? It's someone else. Oh, no. Let's go around. But you know what I really love about the Warlords of Draenor patch is that everything just looks so much better, so much crisper and all that. 1 second. I'm on the wrong setting for the mouse. Great. All right, let's attack this wolf. So, just going to... oh, by the way, I think this is Tidy Plate's add-on. Love it. Can't believe I didn't use it before, but... is he draining life from me? That little mofo. Yeah, die. I think he poisons me too. But anyway, yeah, so I thought I'd show you how the game looks on the laptop. And look at that, you could see the actual individual blades of grass. I mean, it's still not like perfect. Oh my god! Okay, no, this is bad. He will kill me. He has way too much life for me. Oh, I had to blast off. I'm sorry, my little ice elemental, you're just gonna have to sacrifice yourself for my sake. But yeah, and by the way, the volume is on highest right now, so that's what it sounds like. And I'm sure if you did want to use the laptop for gaming, headphones would be a better bet. I'm going to show you the viewing angles, the vertical ones, not the horizontal, because horizontal viewing angles, it looks fine. It's just the vertical that is just way too drastic. And which leads me to believe that it's not an IPS display, but possibly a TN, because I compared it with Joe's laptop, which is the P35K, and mine is the P35W, which is newer, by the way. And his viewing angles are accurate, 178 degrees, both vertically and horizontally. That is what IPS should be. And my current laptop is, I believe, 178 probably horizontally, but not so vertically. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So when you look down, it looks terrible, but when you turn it up, oh my gosh, you could like barely see anything, especially if you're sitting in front of it. It looks terrible. This is definitely not IPS. Now let's go to Joe's. And he color calibrated his monitor, by the way, so but that shouldn't affect the viewing angle, so I'm going to go ahead and tilt this As you can see, you could still see it pretty well, but when I tilt it back, you could still see it pretty well when it's tilted way back. And there's the comparison, and it's like night and day. So I can't believe that that's IPS. So XOTICPC, you really gypped me here. Here's a look at the pros and cons, and I'm going to go over what I like about this laptop first. I love that it's very slim and sleek looking, which makes it very portable. What's cool is that you get 16 gigs of RAM as well as 4 hard drive slots, so you can install up to 2 2.5-inch drives and 2 mSATA SSDs. And also, what's interesting is that the 870M graphics card comes with 6 gigs of GDDR5 memory, and normally you see about 2 or 3 gigs on a graphics card, especially one this size for a notebook. I also like that you get an abundance of USB ports on this laptop, as well as an SD card reader and 3 display connectors, so D-sub, HDMI, and a mini display port that can output 4K resolution at 60 Hz. And I really like that you get a hot swappable bay, a matte display, and of course backlit keyboard. Here are the pros for XOTICPC. I like that you can add custom parts to the build, like change up the design, overclock it, add a different thermal compound, get video adapters for it, external displays, you can add more RAM, more storage, more hard drives, also, you know, you get a card reader with it, which is awesome. You can even add a TV tuner or spare power adapters. Those are expensive. Maybe I should have gotten one. Oh well. Anyway, fingerprint reader. Those are cool. Peripherals, which I don't need any more of. Different software like antivirus and all that, and more. And the option to RAID the drives is definitely a nice touch. It's also great that this laptop was stress tested and benchmarked before it got to me, so that is awesome. And now for a look at the cons, I want to go over the keyboard cons first. I would have preferred individually backlit keys, but maybe I'm just spoiled in that way. And I don't think the background lighting is all that bright. And the system does tend to get pretty loud from heating up, especially when I'm playing games and when I'm rendering. And definitely requires a laptop cooler for graphic intensive tasks. That should really help reduce that. Also notice in the section of the rear of the laptop where it looks a little broken. It just is not seamless like the other side of it. And the trackpad, the single click is a little bit buggy. I have to sometimes double click to get to where I need to go. Here is a huge con. I thought I was getting an IPS display, but I don't think that's the case because the vertical viewing angle is clearly not 178 degrees. And I'm very, very disappointed because this is just a huge error on XOTICPC's part, and even despite the whole late delivery, not processing my payment or my order, this is not cool. So basically, this is false product description. On their website, it'll say IPS. In my order, it'll say IPS. But this is clearly not the case. Now for a look at the XOTICPC cons. Don't use their PayPal payment method because it will not register your order. You'll have to complete the order and payment process again, and I would say that their customer service isn't the best. I did not have a good experience. You'll have to wait on the rant for that. So to conclude, even though my desktop performs better overall in both gaming and rendering, it's not by a whole lot, and the ease of portability via a laptop is what I was looking for, editing and gaming on the go, so I'm pretty satisfied with my purchase. Although this laptop does tend to overheat pretty easily, but a laptop cooler should remedy that. Well, that wraps up this look at the Gigabyte P35Wv2-CF2 laptop for my gaming and editing needs on the go. If you like what you saw and you want to see more like it, be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons, as well as follow me on social media. Joanne Tech Lover Facebook fan page, Joanne Tech Lover again on Twitter, and once again, Joanne Tech Lover for Instagram. Also, please don't forget to hit the donate button so you can help expand this channel and feed this techie. One last thing is storeenvy.com, where you can go ahead and purchase my 8.5 by 11-inch autograph prints and my new wizard prints like this one. They're up on Store of Me, so go ahead and check that out. I guess all that's left to say is bye-bye!